Okay, so good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Pav, and I'm a senior account manager here at Qlic IT. For those of you that don't already know, we specialise in supporting charities and non-profit organisations with their IT systems and cybersecurity and digital collaboration tools and such. Today's session is a short practical webinar focused on something almost every organisation is dealing with now, which is how to collaborate effectively when teams are working in a mix of locations. Many organisations now operate hybrid teams, and some staff are in the office and some are working from home, and others might be out delivering services. So when communications and documents are scattered across emails and desktops and different systems, things can quickly become quite confusing. So what we want to do today is explore some of the simple collaboration practices using Microsoft 365 that help teams stay organized, communicate clearly, and work together more effectively wherever they're working from. So I'm going to walk through a few practical tools that many organizations already have access to, but may not be using to their full potential. But just to begin with, um, for those that haven't been introduced to us before, I'm going to kick things off with a quick introduction. So we specialize in IT support for charities, and we're genuinely very passionate about helping organizations and non-profits make the most out of their technology. Our entire focus here is on supporting organizations in the sector and helping them use IT in a way that is secure and reliable and easy to manage. So Qlic started back in 2002, and over the past 20 plus years, we've grown into one of the largest managed IT providers working with charities here in the UK. Now, today, we're a team of around 45 people and we support more than 350 organisations. The vast majority of those are charities and non-profit organisations across the UK. So because we work so closely within the sector, we really do understand some of the unique challenges that charities often face. Things like limited budgets and hybrid and remote teams and volunteers accessing systems and the need to balance security with the ease of use. So our service is designed specifically with those realities in mind. In terms of what we actually do, our core services include managed IT support, helping organisations look after their day-to-day IT and supporting their teams when things go wrong. We also provide a cloud and cybersecurity solutions, particularly around Microsoft 365, again, helping organisations improve collaboration, protecting their data and strengthening their overall security posture. Alongside that, we also support telecom solutions, including VoIP, Microsoft Teams-based telephony, mobile services, connectivity such as broadband. And sessions like this are something that we run very regularly because we believe that it's really important to share the practical knowledge within the sector. The aim is always to give organisations ideas and tools that they can start using straight away. And of course, if there's anything we cover today that sparks ideas or you would like help with anything around IT, security, Microsoft 365 or telephony, please do feel free to reach out afterwards. We're always very happy to help and have a conversation. There is a Q&A section in Teams, so please do feel free to use the Q&A if you have any questions along the way. And my colleague Jenny will also post a link there to book a consultation with us should anyone require further assistance. Now, it's a very short webinar today, but we're going to go through some pretty cool features within some of the applications that we know and love the most within Microsoft 365. So one of the biggest benefits of Microsoft 365 is that it provides a connected set of tools designed to work together. Now, instead of relying purely on email, organizations can use several tools that improve collaboration and reduce confusion. Microsoft Teams is typically the central hub. It allows instant messaging, structured conversations, meetings, and file collaboration all in one place. SharePoint and OneDrive handle the document storage and the version control. These ensure that teams are are working on the same files rather than emailing multiple versions around. Now, Outlook remains important for scheduling and meetings, managing communication with external contacts. And one of the newer additions we're going to cover is loop components, which allow teams to collaborate on content such as lists, notes, or tables in real time across chats, emails, and documents. When these tools are used together properly, they create a much clearer digital workspace for hybrid teams. So moving on to a demo, and now this is a live demo, so hopefully it all goes well for us today, but we have practiced a few times, so it should be fine. So many organizations now work in a hybrid way, and some people are in the office and some are remote. The challenge is making sure that everyone can still collaborate effectively and access the right documents and keep communications clear. So Microsoft 365 was designed specifically to support this type of flexible working environment. Today, I'm going to begin by showing you a few simple examples of how Teams, SharePoint, OneDrive, Outlook, and Loop all work together to make collaboration easier. Now, rather than just talk about it, I'm going to show you some real examples of how small teams might work together on something like a funding proposal. So I'm going to start this in Microsoft Teams because this, for most organizations, has become the central place where teams collaborate. So to begin with, I'm just going to open up my Microsoft Teams window here. Bear with me just a second. And I've navigated here to our channels section within Teams. I can't go through the rest of Teams, unfortunately, because it's a live environment, but I have got permission to use this marketing channel here for the purpose of today's demonstration. You can see I've created a channel here called Test 3. The reason why it's called Test 3 is because you can't give a channel a name that you've used previously, and I've already used Test 1 and 2. But I'm going to show you very quickly. You can click right-hand mouse button on the main channel here and click Add Channel, and it's going to create a new channel or a new workspace for this particular project. So I'm going to call this channel collaboration, or we'll call it funding collaboration. Can give it a description if you wanted to, and you can choose whether this is a standard channel or private, so only specific people within the team have access. In this instance, I'm very happy for everyone within our marketing team to have access, so I'll click standard. And I'll add the channel agent, which I have as a function here because we have the Teams Copilot licensing, which will allow me to add meeting notes and for the Copilot assistant to help within the channel as well. Now you have a choice whether you lay this out as threads or posts. So I'm going to leave it as threads, which is a conversational view, but you could have it as posts. Sometimes posts is preferred, especially where there's a lot of content being provided. It helps things in terms of navigating and pinning things to the top. Threads, in my opinion, for this particular example, should be more than sufficient. It's just going to be a conversational view. So I'll click create here and you'll see it will go away and it will create the channel for me. Now it's immediately created a workspace beginning with the chat area and it's prompted and said actually the collaboration agent has been added to this. So it's explained that there is AI within this workspace. So it's a chat at the basic level, so I can post a message in here and everybody that has access to this channel will be able to see the message. So here's a message I created earlier. Don't know why it's come up in red. Sorry about that. There we go. And you'll see that this is immediately picked up by other members of the group. So Jenny, my colleague, is already in this group and she's popped in a message here. You can see that this is a live chat. So that's fantastic. We know that we all have access to this. We can change who has access by clicking the plus button up here and adding people to the chat if necessary. But we're not going to be using the chat very much here. I think the most important thing we'll move on to here is the integration with SharePoint. So we do recommend creating your document libraries within SharePoint first. So what you could do is go away and create an area within SharePoint for this particular channel. And then you can click on the plus sign here and you can click on apps and you can choose SharePoint and you can navigate to that particular document library and you can pin it to the top here. So it becomes really a very easy way to access the documents that are associated with the channel. I'm not going to do that today because I don't want to navigate around our work SharePoint on a live demonstration. But what I will do is use the standard shared section here. So if I click on shared, it generates a document library, a storage area for our documents for this channel. So it's automatically created one in this instance. So you can see here I have the choice to create a new document or I can upload documents and there's some other functions here that you can navigate around and change if necessary. I'm going to, for this example, upload a file. So I'll click on the upload button and click on files and it should bring up my file upload window and you'll see here's a proposal, funding proposal document that I created as an example earlier on. So I'll double click that and it's uploaded the document here for me. So you'll see again that everybody has access to this. Everyone that has access to the marketing channel here and this funding collaboration group will have access to all these documents as well. So I'm going to click on the document and it's going to open it up in Word for me. Do bear with me while it opens up on my other screen and then I'll move it over to share with you. Here we go. So you can see this is a document that I've just created. Jenny's beat me to it. She's already inside the document, which is fantastic. You can see that Jenny's name has popped up here in the top right hand corner, and that she is currently navigating the title of the document here. Now, any changes she makes to the document are going to be made live, and that's really important to note because this is shared on SharePoint. So for example, if I change the amount that we're seeking here from 85,000 to 95,000, you'll see that at the top here it says saving immediately. Now that is because every single button press and every interaction it's saved back to SharePoint. So this is a live saving of a document. Historically, documents would only automatically save every 10 or 15 minutes as you were working on them, but now it's literally every word that you pop in. And the reason that's so important, and a lot of people miss out on this, is because you can click the top bar here, this little arrow, and it drops down the box which you can rename the document. But more importantly, you can click on version history down here at the bottom. And the version history is brilliant because you can go back to any point at which the document has been saved in the past. This one was only created this morning, so there's not many versions in here, but you can very quickly revert back to a previous copy, which is a huge hybrid working benefit. Now, whilst I'm working on this in a shared area, it's also important to note that if I wanted to work on this in a private area, this is the original document, I can always save this as a copy into my personal OneDrive here. Now, if I do that, that's going to be a private area from which I work from. It's not shared with the rest of the organization unless I specifically share it with them. But that's great for if you're working on something as a starting point and you're going to share it later on. OneDrive is designed for your personal work, as I say, and yeah, that gives you a really quick look at how to introduce documents into a Microsoft Teams channel and how to edit those together. I'm going to close this document and move on to a second part of the example, and I'm actually going to bring in Outlook into this. So bear with me a second because I've got a new email window I generated or opened earlier. So you can see here, this is an Outlook new email that I've created. And the reason I did this is because I want to show you how you can attach that document that we've just added whilst keeping it in the exact same location and making sure that you're giving access to the same document and not actually creating multiple copies of it. So for example, let me just create some content for my email here. We'll pop in a little bit of content. Now, instead of attaching the document, what we're going to do is go back to our Teams window here, click on the three dots next to my file, and click on Copy Link. Now, what that does, it brings up a little window here in which I can change the settings for this share. I can say actually I can stipulate who has access to it specifically, but in this instance, I'm just going to copy the link. So it's copied that for me. I'm going to bring back to my email, which is down here, and I'm going to pop in a link. And you'll see it's popped the link in rather than attaching it to the document. Now, everybody that I send this email to will be able to click on the link and access the document, the live version of the document, including the version history and all of the functions we just saw. So that saves on doubling up on documents and attaching them unnecessarily, which is really, really useful. Now, moving on from that, and we'll come back to Outlook in just a second, I really wanted to show you the loop components and how that works just briefly. So we'll go back to my conversation view in our channel that we've created here. Now, what we can do is add a live working area that everyone within the channel can work on and see at the same time, and we can give it very specific functions. So that's using this loop button down here in the bottom right hand corner. We can click on the loop button, and you'll see here it gives me an option how to add various different functions or features to this loop component. I can create a table, a bullet list, a checklist, a task list, voting table, for example, or even a Kanban board or one of the other options here. There's lots you can do with it. But I'm just going to create a task list in this instance, and we're going to pop some demo or sample tasks in there. So let's say the proposal needs reviewing. So I'll say review proposal, and I'm going to assign this one to Jenny because she's part of the group. You will see it brings up all of my contacts and all of the people that have access automatically. And then we're going to say budget confirmation. Ooh. And this time I'm going to assign it to my colleague Adam. But let's say I accidentally click the wrong Adam. I want to assign this to my MD, Adam Graham, but I'm going to accidentally click Adam Wignall, my other colleague. You'll see it does tell me straight away that this Adam doesn't have access to this document, so therefore he won't be able to view it. But if I choose Adam Graham, for example, it will add him because he has access to this particular area. I can then continue to add tasks here. So we can say final approval. Oops, quick expert, there we go. And we can assign this one, let's say, to my colleague Mike. We can also give each one of these a due date, which is very helpful, and it will go and add it to the user's individual to-do or task list as well. But now I've created this loop component, I can add this to the chat, and you can see here it's added it live, and it's showing me that Jenny is also viewing this immediately straight away, and she can go through, tick off the tasks and change anything she wants. But let's say actually you wanted to share this, it might get lost in the chat, so you can actually pin it if you wanted to pin it to the top. That's possible. You can pin for everyone, but you can actually share it also within other areas of 365. So by clicking this copy component button here at the top right, I can then go back to my email that I created earlier, which is here, and I can pop this in just by pasting the loop component in here. Now it's just added a link to begin with, but I can left click that link, click on link styles and choose embed. And that's going to pop the full loop component into my email here. At least it did so in all of my testing earlier. And typically hasn't done so in the demonstration. Bear with me a second, we'll generate a new email here and I'll show you what that looks like. Here we go, here's another email I've created. There's my loop component. And I'll click on link styles and embed. There we go, and you can see it does embed it into the email here, and you can still see Jenny is looking at it live as we speak, and any changes she makes are going to come. She's added final adjustments here, which is fantastic. So you can see it's, it's live, it's a work in progress, and everyone's working on the same document. Now, I appreciate there's a very quick demonstration here of some of the functions within 365 and for specifically around collaboration, but there is obviously a lot more that you can do. We have got other webinars which focus on those particular functions, and we have got a few coming up as well, specifically around the AI side of things. So the key takeaway is really that hybrid working is not just about working remotely. It really is about making sure that everyone can access the same information and collaborate on the same documents and communicate effectively, regardless of where they are.